Hello everyone, this is your English teacher Gökçen and today we're going to have a lesson together. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing pretty well too, thank you. Now please let me share my screen with you so that I can start showing it to you. Yes, today we're going to talk about past perfect continuous and it's an advanced level. Our lesson flow is starting with the warm-up and ending with the homework. And I'm gonna show you the vocabulary and the grammar presentation. Then we're gonna do some practices and production activity. And then we're gonna wrap up the lesson with a plenary activity. Okay, I want you to look at these sentences and the pictures. Which one is the cause? Which one happens before? Which one is the result? So therefore, which one happens later? What do you think? You can see some vocabulary which you don't know, that's all right. But you can guess, you can make predictions. The first picture is the cause, happens before. Yeah. The second sentence is the result. Do you think like that? Okay, you're thinking right, I think. Industry. This is industry. This is a factory, maybe. We don't know what that is. So they are using the natural resources, right? You see these things here, and you see a drought picture and also deforestation. So the trees had been cut, and maybe the field is now destroyed. That can cause many things. Okay. Maybe this gave you the clue about the topic of our lesson. Today we will learn to talk about events and actions that come one after another. Event 1, action 1, and event 2, action 2. What do you think? I have some questions for you. What are some of the most important natural resources a country can have? What do you think? Fresh water? Mine? You're right. Fossil fuels? Exactly. Lands? Fishery? Yes, you're right. Have you ever noticed local examples of resource depletion, such as water shortages, deforestation, like when when the natural resources are in danger? Have you ever noticed in your area, in your city, in your country? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's show the things you wrote down on the chat. You have noticed water scarcity, deforestation, soil erosion, and mining pollution to the water, to soil, right? All of these things damage local ecosystems, local places. All right, these are really nice examples, nice explanations. Thank you. Okay, we have some vocabulary which we really need to know about this lesson. These are about the use and abuse of natural resources. We're gonna use them. And I want you to please read them carefully. If you have any questions, you know some of them. Degradation means, for example, deterioration. Overconsumption means consuming a lot, more than enough. Scarcity means there is a limited resource or access, and it has a higher cost. Renewable or non-renewable resources. Renewable resources is like the sun. Non-renewable resources is like fossil fuels. It can finish. It can be over by time. Unsustainable extraction. What is that? Is to extract something, to remove something Unsustainably. What does it mean? Yes, you're right. They cannot continue without harming. Deplete resources means um, to reduce or exhaust natural resources by using them faster. Exploit and overexploit means use a resource for benefits or too much, using too much of it. And you know the other vocabulary. Now you see with text here, you see a text, and I underlined the past perfect continuous sentences here, which we're going to learn. I want you to guess their meanings and what you understand. Please read this silently. I give you 2 minutes, then I'm going to I'm going to read it too. Okay, your time is over. So here we see the sentences. Industry had been extracting raw materials in unsustainable ways, like unstoppable, like it's not nice. And communities had been depleting water reserves, right? Reserves, sorry, and had been over-consuming fossil fuels, consuming a lot. Farmers had been clearing land without considering the scarcity. Corporations had been exacerbating, make worse, meaning environmental degradation through unchecked expansion. And at the last part, the scars of what societies had been doing for centuries remain evident. It means stay visible. We see that, right? So we will analyze this text later. I want you to look at this part. We use had been verb ing when there are two past events. Two. There must be two events. The sentence with had been is the action begin in the past, continued up to a more recent point. For example, here, it says, I started studying English. I went London. There are two past events, you see, right? I had been learning English for 3 years. Up until when? Up until last year. What happened last year? I went to London, right? We use past simple to talk about the action or event happened second. And this is happening until that another event. But are we in 2024? No, we are in 2025. So these are happening in the past, two past events. One of them has a duration, is continuing until up a point. Another one, the later one, happens at a point. So we use past simple and past perfect continuous, and our time expressions for this tense for since, when, before, until, how long. We use past simple to write. Past simple we use when, before, until to write. Past simple tense we use for and since to write past perfect continuous tense. So you see these are the state verbs. Be. And he had been a nurse for 11 months when he quit his job. So he became a nurse and continued in the job for 11 months. Then he quit. So there are two past actions. He'd been a nurse. We can't say he'd being a nurse because here our verb is a state verb. So we have to use he had been. Another state example, situation example, they had been together for 7 years when they broke up. So being together happened until the time when after until they broke up. So this is the past simple, they broke up, but they had been together up until that time. What about the negative form? Well, the negative form and the question form are not very common in this tense, are not commonly used, but I gave you it. We add not in the negative form and we ask the question had we use had, the auxiliary verb, at the beginning of the question, or we can ask with how long had you blah blah been? How long had you been learning English when you went to London, for example? So it's similar to past perfect continuous, the forms. But what's the difference between have been verb ing and had been verb ing? They look very similar, right? You can confuse them. So here we see some kind of results in both tenses. In the first one, she's tired because she has been working all day. Now the result, I see the result now, right? She is tired. It's the present result. I'm sorry. So I use she has been working all day. This is the result of it. But she was tired. For example, yesterday, she had been working all day. So our result happened in the past, occurred in the past. So I use she had been working all day because I'm talking about two past events happened in the past. Yeah, this is the difference. There is a duration difference too. For example, when we say he has been waiting for the bus for half an hour, we see that he's still waiting, right? Yes. But when I say he had been waiting for the bus for half an hour, I have to add another action, another past event before it came. So the bus came later, but he had been waiting for the bus. These happened in the past, and I described the duration happened in the past. So yes, now look at this text. You see it, right? These things had been happening. The industries had been extracting raw materials, communities had been depleting water reserves. Up until when? Up until conservation efforts had done. Up until conservation efforts were done. So the government or the country which is facing these kind of situations put some conservation efforts, and these kind of things came to an end. So they started not doing these things. So these happened in the past when the conservation efforts attempted by the government were attempted. So please answer these questions according to the text we have read. Yes, these are the answers. Please check your answers. Please rewrite the sentences with past perfect continuous. So you see past perfect in these sentences, but they are not continuous tenses. You will write them with their continuous tenses. It's very easy, right? Yes, you will only change the first part, and you will also change the after and the before verb. What about this one? Before the terrible consequences became visible, communities had been depleting water resources and had been... Wow, this is a nice sentence. Thank you. You made it really well. Well done. This one, before. We use before here because use the verb become visible is said to us, and you use environmental degradation became visible. That's great. Now, please imagine there's a water scarcity in your country, and you are the scientist. You're searching about the past actions people had been doing, which caused the scarcity in the area. Explain that these activities the countries had been doing, or how the country had been using the water resources in the area. Tell if the government implementing regulations or not. Please write a short paragraph, 5 or 6 sentences, and work in pairs. Let me share one of your friends' text, but there are some small little mistakes, but uh, the overall text is very well written, and the usage of present perfect tense and past perfect tense are correct. Only the subject verb agreement here is wrong. They were draining aquifers, and here there is a mistake about passive tense. Faster than recharge could occur. This is wrong. Faster than aquifers could recharge is the correct version. And here there is a verb tense agreement mistake. Contaminated. Contaminated. You should write it like this. But other than that, this is a well-written text. Thank you for your efforts. Now let's look at what we remember about, what you remember about the lesson. I'll give you 60 seconds. When I tell you to start, you will write down all the vocabulary you remember you have learned in this lesson. When I say stop after 60 seconds, you will stop and raise your hands like this to the camera. I will look at your screens, and if there is anyone who didn't raise their hands, I will not give him or her the points. You will write down the vocabulary which you took note of, or you can write down them to my text box. And after everyone wrote to me, I will announce the points you all got, right? Okay. You have any questions? Okay. I'm waiting for you. You can start. The 60 seconds is over. Stop. Raise your hands. I'm looking at your screens. Okay. I'm writing down the points you've got. Okay. Let me announce the points for each one of you. So here, who is the winner? I think student F is the winner. That's great. Good job to all of you. Now I'm giving you the homework. Please choose one natural resource in your country that has been used irresponsibly. It can be water, it can be forest, it can be fossil fuels, or it can be of soil. And please look at these explanations given and be careful about writing according to these instructions. Thank you for your attention and participation. I'll see you in our next lesson. Bye.